Hey, good morning, y'all. This is AL Thick Madame, and I know I'm late. I already know. I just wanted to take advantage of just celebrating my birthday week, which I never do. I know people who celebrate the whole month, even if they was born on the first of whatever. But I just wanted to take advantage this year of just, doing everything that I wanted to do. So I'm very, very late on this video and I apologize for that. So for the few of y'all that are still interested in this video, here it is. As you can see by the title, this is the latest episode of Family or Fiance, and it is featuring the couple, Jasmine and Reggie. So Reggie is a pastor. He is a young man, under 40. I don't know if he is still currently 35, but his father mentioned within the episode that, when he was 35 years old, that he was like, all right, now, kind of looking at him like, all right, now you're getting up there. You're 35, so, need to be getting married. But anyway, y'all, so they met quite some time ago, right? And their relationship is the type that I don't tend to fool with. I mean, I guess it works for them. Whatever. They are the on again, off again, and all that. Y'all, I can't. That is definitely not how I operate. I don't like no off again, on again type of relationship. So anyway, they were basically long distance as far as, the relationship was concerned, because during their on again, off again relationship, she decided that she was going to move to Georgia. I think she stated that that's where her mother was living, and she wanted to go there and, just start over there. And he was 3 or 3.5 hours away in Valdosta, Georgia. And they basically spent most of their relationship in a long distance relationship. And she recently, as far as when this was recorded and aired, she moved to Valdosta. I feel like I always say that city completely wrong, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Valdosta, Georgia. And, the people who were coming were her mother, which I need to make sure that I mention this. She was adopted when she was like 3 weeks old. So, her biological family have nothing to do with her as far as her upbringing, to my knowledge. She's never mentioned that, at least throughout this episode. So her mother came, her stepfather came, and her best friend, who was going to be like the maid of honor or one of her bridesmaids. And on Reggie's side, it's going to be his father, his mother, and his brother. Okay, so we have to point out that his father was in and out of jail like all throughout his life, especially during the most crucial times in his life when he was a child. So yeah, we got to make sure we put that out there so you'll already know where a lot of this stuff is coming from and the reactions that people get. So a lot of people are concerned about their communication and whether or not they're ready for this union, because a lot of people, as we know, they take marriage for granted. They are just like, oh, let's just get married. And it's like they like the idea of it, but they are for real not ready for what can come along with it if y'all really aren't on the same level when it comes to the expectations, the realistic expectations is what I should say. So yeah, y'all. So the tasks at their first meeting they were given was, for him, it's Pop Goes the questions. So they set up kind of like a dart situation, and balloons are filled up with confetti and questions that, are burning questions that if one of the people on her side is able to pop it, he has to read the question out loud and say what, his response is, and, honestly answer the question, because they need to get to know him. They don't really know him like that. And, it's just going to be a process. So yeah, y'all. And her task is to cook with his folks. So they end up going on and doing what they're going to do. And they had the family meeting and discussed what the tasks were. So, they actually expressed, like I said earlier, her best friend stated that she felt like there wasn't compromise within their relationship, she felt like, oh, she moved for him and all this other stuff. And so for some reason, she feels as though there's no compromising when it comes from his end. I think her stepfather said something about the communication. Her mother has no type of bond or like any kind of real communication with him, but she's very tight with her ex, at least one of her exes, like to the point where she still FaceTimes him and all of that. I ain't here for that. We'll talk about that later on. I've discussed that before, but I ain't here for it. Yeah. So, and his father, was in the little confessional thing when they were all on the couches. And he was like, marriage is very important to me. It's very sacred and all this other stuff. And, I'm saying to myself, like, are you married to his mama or are you married to anybody? That's what I want to know. And that's not me being shady at all. I really want to know. Because I don't think I see a ring on her finger. And I see, like, the typical rings that a player type dude or old school dude will wear on their fingers. So I don't know. And like I said, there's no shade. I honestly do. I really would like to know if he's actually married. So, yeah, y'all. That meeting, according to Jasmine and Reggie, was very, very awkward. She has a strained relationship with her mother, despite the fact that she was adopted by her. And it's crazy to me. Usually, like, well, I know you hear the horror stories, but I was like, wow, considering this woman couldn't get pregnant, I'm thinking this is going to be a breeze. This is going to be amazing. Maybe her mama is just being overprotective. No, that's not the case. They have a very strained relationship. We come to find out that she feels as though she has this high expectation, and she just never felt like she was able to please her mother, and that her mama wants her to be perfect. So she kind of pulls back and, doesn't really interact like that with her mama, and they have a very strained relationship because of that. Also, like I said earlier, she keeps in constant contact with the exes, and I can't. Y'all, I have to point out that Reggie's mama's skin is everything. I don't know what in the world. I don't know. Girl, what kind of water you be drinking? What kind of moisturizers you using in your face? Because you see my face is toe down. Like one day, I'm going to get like a chemical peel. I don't know, because my skin is so... Anyway, her skin is everything. Everything. Every single time I saw her, I was like, yes, ma'am, your skin is gold. Hallelujah. Like, her skin looks moisturized, it's clear, all of that. Like, all of them, all of the people in his family, seem to have really good skin. But her skin was just glistening, and it just looks so moisturized. I was like, yes, ma'am, what you use? But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I digress. Her skin is everything. But yeah. And also, I thought that the outfit that Jasmine had on was really cute. I like really colorful stuff. It was really cute. It's like a, jumper dress thing or whatever. Y'all know I ain't into fashion like that. I don't know what it's called. I forgot if I even showed y'all the shirt. I'm sorry for being random, but just in case I didn't, here it is. And happy Black History Month. All right. So they end up having a moment when they have the well, y'all, I jumped ahead. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is something that I found to be interesting. Reggie's father is under the impression that he has just been this amazing father and that he's been there for his son, and everybody in the room looking like, what is you talking about, sir? What you mean? You've been in jail. Like, you can't make it seem like you're just this amazing person and that you've been there for him. And I mean, everybody was like, but you don't even know him. How you feel like you just been doing all these things, but you ain't did nothing. Y'all, like, he really is in denial. And I was like, okay, is he being serious? Or does he really, really feel like he's been there like that? So anyway, y'all, I can't, like, somebody said dysfunction is function for him. And that's exactly what it seems like. And that's crazy to me. It's like, sir, if you don't put that down a little bit. So yeah, y'all, I just was like, what is happening in his life for him to think that he's just been there? Y'all, I can't. So to clear everything up, just in case you didn't realize, Jasmine she has this fear of rejection, and given the fact that she's been adopted, she just didn't know, like, okay, am I doing enough to be able to stay at this house and for her to want to keep me? And it's like, that is a terrible thing. Just to even hear that. I wasn't adopted, but for me to hear that, that hurt me. That hurt my heart to hear her feel like that. As a child, your whole life, you grown now, and you still feel like you haven't done enough to prove that you are worthy as a person in general. Let alone being somebody's child, whether they gave birth to you or not. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, girl. Woo. So anyway, y'all, her mama kept having these moments where she was breaking down. And I was like, Lord. So before she had like her major breakdown, they were doing the game with him. And it's like mainly all the questions that were getting popped had something to do with her. And so the first question, I think, was about, what are y'all going to do about y'all's relationship? Because like I said, their relationship is strained. Jasmine and her mother. And she was just like, well, I don't understand why she feels like I have these high expectations and all this other stuff. So at first, when that first little task, I was like, all right, I ain't finna be here for this. Okay. But anyway, then the next question was like, what is going on with you and, your constant communication with the exes? And he off rip was like, I'm not competing with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know right now, that's what's not finna happen. So I was like, oh, set it off then, sir. But anyway, so later on, they ended up, like the next day, they had dinner and all this other stuff, and they discussed what all happened. Y'all, the next day, the couple are literally in the middle of meeting with Tracy, when Tracy was like, your mother is literally right now, as we speak, in the middle of having a breakdown. Like, she was in there, they kept panning back, they kept going back and forth. They were showing them, and Tracy had to stop the meeting to go down there and talk to her. And like, she was in there crying down. Like, she was just like, I don't even know if I was a good mother to her. And, I didn't want her to grow up having this pain, hurt, and rejection. You know what I'm saying? That was the complete opposite of what her goal was. Like, she wanted her to have an amazing upbringing, and she's done so much for her. And she felt like she was showing that she was a good mother, but she don't even know if she was a good mother at this point. So Tracy had to calm her down. She cleared the room and everything, y'all. It was a lot. So now the tasks are that, she's going to bring in a marriage and family counselor, therapist, if you will, to speak to Jasmine and her mother. And Reggie and his father are going to go and, hash out some things. And he's going to basically explain to his father where he is and how he feels, because like I said, his father is in complete denial or delusion as to what really has been going on in this man's life since he was a child. So it's like, okay, why you think like this? So they ended up having a therapy session. They had major breakthroughs. It was to the point where the mama went first, and she was like, look, I'm proud of you. You made it. Like, you've done all of these amazing things. I am proud of your accomplishments. I love you. Like, she said all of these things. And it made Jasmine break down. Y'all, I almost cried. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was beautiful, for real. And, she was just like, I can't believe it. Like, you're reaffirming the things that I always questioned as to whether or not I had been doing. So now she had like this burden lifted off of her. And I was just like, girl, that is crazy. Y'all, it was a lot. And she was just like, I love you. And, she just apologized, because she was just like, I never thought that that's how you felt. And I didn't understand why you felt like you needed to do these things. You know what I'm saying? I love you. You are my child. You've done well. Like, you've done everything you were supposed to do, and then some. I'm proud of you. Y'all. So yeah, she broke down. Like, she really broke down when her mama, basically said that she made it. Y'all, so then, for her part, she told her mama, let her know that she's an amazing mom and all this other stuff, and that she saw the sacrifices that she made for her. Like, she put her life on hold to make sure that, she was well taken care of. So she was like, I see you, you did well raising me. Y'all, so Reggie ended up talking to his father, and like he really thought he was out here doing a lot and he wasn't doing nothing. And y'all, come to find out, neither one of Reggie's parents were there. Like he had all kinds of amazing milestones to happen in his life. They weren't at his games, they weren't at any of his functions. So I'm like, well, what was his mama doing? What happened? Was he not with his mama too? Like I don't know. I got confused. They skipped all over that. Now, if they said something about that, I don't remember that. But when he said it, I was like, okay, well, where was your mama at too? This confused me. So he was like, he went off to college, and he said that was when he really felt like, let me create an escape. And so that's what he did to escape everything that had been happening to him his whole life, even up until he was in high school. And that's sad for you to be carrying a burden for that long, for 18 years? What? 17 to 18 years, you carrying a burden like that, thinking that, well, ain't nobody here for me, I'm all alone. Like, that is crazy to me. So he said his daddy was like, well, you were acting a certain way and you didn't really communicate with us like that, and I didn't understand why. But now he's trying to act as if he sees why now. It's like, y'all wasn't there before, so And I think that he said that that's where him and Jasmine met. They met in college. So yeah, y'all, I was just like, Lord. His daddy said, this was his excuse. He said, well, I felt like since you had a roof over your head and food to eat and clothes on your back that you was good. And I'm like, but you weren't there. Like, what you mean? So, his mentality is, my daddy wasn't in my life until I came, I became a teenager. And, I knew he loved me or whatever. He was all right. He was decent. So I thought that was fine. And people all around this man tried to tell him up until this point, like, no, you aren't doing all of what you think you're doing, sir. You weren't in his life. Like, he really thought he was doing it. He really thought he was out here doing something. And I was like, you're not there. Y'all do not understand. I'm a daddy's girl. I know y'all get tired of me saying that, but I am a daddy's girl. I don't know where I would be in my life had I not been a daddy's girl. My daddy wasn't in my life. I just don't know. My daddy is everything, and almost all of my friends do not have any interaction with their fathers, whether they know them or not. One of my friends just turned 30, and she is trying to have a relationship with her dad, even though he's been raggedy to her entire life. And I'm just like, girl, I feel like he only doing it because he, kind of sick and whatever, and I don't know, but that's something that always messed with me. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people creating kids and don't want to be in their lives? I don't understand it. My daddy was so happy. My daddy was so happy when he found out my mama was pregnant with me. And I mean, he stays, even to this day, I'm 36 years old, just turned 36. My daddy still smiles from ear to ear and will show people pictures of me and my siblings and be like, yeah, that's my daughter, that's my oldest, right? My daddy sets it off. That's why I don't understand stuff like that. Y'all, I'm sorry. It just be tearing my nerves up. So anyway, but yeah, for him to say like, well, I thought you had all this stuff, you was good. No, he didn't have you. You were his father. You're not there. Like, what you mean? Y'all, anyway, so he was like, well, what can I do now? So he was like, you can be my friend. And so his daddy was like, well, you can be my son and my friend. So they hugged it out, and, they're working on things, and they making it seem like everything's fine. So they ended up having dinner, and everybody basically had a come to Jesus moment. Everybody thought everything was fine before they got there. Everybody had their own things going on. They didn't realize it, and it was kind of like, wow, we didn't know we had all this going on. So yeah, everybody had to come to, like, literally everybody in the room for the most part had a come to Jesus moment after all of this time of spending, these moments together and hashing stuff out. So they had the final meeting. Everything seems to be going well. And then they had the blessing ceremony, and everybody said yes to, giving them their blessings. And before the blessing ceremony, Reggie did say that he was concerned about her mother because they still don't have that bond and that communication. And, it's like, sir, it's only been 3 days. So, y'all have a lifetime to build that. So hopefully that'll go well. They were slated to get married at the beginning of this year. I don't know, or, sometime at the beginning of this year. That's within the first 6 months of this year. So I'm guessing they hadn't gotten married by the time this was gonna air. So I guess we need to be on the lookout for the wedding. Everything seems to be fine. And that's it, y'all. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this review. I will hopefully be back on here tonight with the review for the newest one that's coming on tonight, either tonight or tomorrow. Anyway, I got some sweet potatoes in the oven. I'll probably show y'all what they look like on the inside. Ow, when they done cooking. Anyway, thank y'all so much for all of your support. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all later on. Bye.